Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. These two drops find us in our Hellbringer. It is the Hellbringer Prime, and I have it outfitted with 2 Clan Heavy Large Lasers, 3 ER Centurion Medium Lasers, ECM, as well as AMS, and a top speed of 81 kph. So our first drop has us playing Domination on Polar Highlands, and I've been hanging out in the backside of the capture zone because I'm expecting the enemy to form up in Hotel 9 with possibly a push to Hotel 8. Now, unfortunately, the enemies just don't like to cooperate on this particular drop, because not only do they not come my way, they reverse course and engage the rest of my teammates closer to I-9, which causes me to reposition. Now, I see some enemies going through this little gap here, which is a perfect shooting position for me. And while I'm watching it, they don't come through there. So then I see a unit up on the high ground, waiting for him to step out of cover and expose himself, and he doesn't do that either. So I'm just going to keep pushing forward, and here comes a fire starter out of nowhere. I'm not sure what he was thinking. I don't think he knew that I was there, and that is the power of ECM, in the fact that until they can visually lock onto you, they may not know that your mech is there. And we also see now that a Jaeger mech is pushing up the ramp behind us, trying to get into the backs of our teammates. So we're going to come up here and add some focus fire onto him and take him out of the game as well. And since I'm up here, I can see there's quite a few targets of opportunity in the low grounds. We'll get some shots out on these guys, especially that Atlas. He was a pretty important target to take off the board. There's a couple more that we're going to get stray shots on, and I also noticed a Shadow Cat in the distance. I'm going to reposition now for a different angle, and as I do so, we come across a catapult. It's a C2 with 2 light Gauss rifles and 4 LRM-5. It's kind of an interesting build, but we're not going to let him get into a support position to rain down damage on our teammates, and I've got a light mech helping me out as well. We managed to open up his back, and the light mech secures the kill. Looks like he was probably running an XL engine in that particular build. There's the Shadow Cat that we saw earlier. He is heavily damaged, and as he spins around to track my teammate in the light mech, we're able to get a kill shot on his back. The enemy's starting to push back towards us, so there's several units coming in one at a time, including this Hellbringer. He was shooting for my right torso, and his right torso is open, so I want to focus him as much as possible. And he's an exact copy of my build, pretty much, except for he has an extra ER medium laser, but he's still very dangerous, so I have to be aware of him. Looks like our light is legged in the low ground, and let's see if we can help out his machine gun damage that he's trying to get in on that center torso on the Death Strike. He is open CT. I want to try to capitalize on this, but now the Hellbringer is moving up to support the Death Strike, and I can't take them on 2 at a time, especially with an open CT. I fall back, I'm going to pop a UAV, let my teammates know where the enemy is. The enemy Hellbringer is pushing me, and we're going to do some trades here. I take his right torso, he takes my center torso, but he is held up long enough for a friendly light unit to take him out as well. And now we're down to just 1 enemy unit towards the center. Let's see if our teammates can focus him down and bring a victory to our side on this match. It looks like that Jenner is in definite trouble. He's way outnumbered with an open CT, and he's getting focused by 2 lights and missile fire. Good job. And eventually he is taken out. Jumping over to the end screen on this one, we wind up with 1 kill, 8 assists, 526 damage done. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us playing skirmish mode on Hellbore Outpost, and hopefully by now you've noticed between the last drop and hopefully again in this drop that ECM is incredibly powerful in shielding you from enemy units and detection. Typically, unless they visually lock onto your mech, you are all but ignored on the battlefield. and that is a very powerful weapon to use in your advantage, especially on a build like this. The heavy large lasers have a longer burn time, so remaining undetected until you strike is incredibly important. Now, jumping into the action here, we've managed to find a Battle Master on the high ground. I've elected to push this unit, and I can hear you guys screaming that I shouldn't be pushing this Battle Master, but I need to take him off the board for two important reasons. Number one is, even if we trade kills, I will gladly trade 65 tons for 80 tons. And number two is, leaving a Battle Master with 5 ER large lasers on the high ground unmolested is going to get a lot of my teammates killed. So we do manage to take him out. It does cost us quite a bit in armor as far as our CT and left torso, but that's okay. We're still in the fight, and by taking the torso off the Battle Master, we messed with his heat dissipation rates and he blew himself up. So I'm chalking that up as a definite win. Now we're free to focus the direwolf that is down in the buildings that we saw earlier, and he's unaware that we're up here, giving us many back shots, and I will take as many of them as he wants to give. And we've managed to core out his rear CT. He's nice and orange. Probably one more shot on that rear CT, and he will go down. He gives us his back yet again, so I will take that kill. So there's a direwolf off the board, eliminating a lot of firepower from the enemy. Now, if anyone was paying attention to the minimap, because I sure as heck wasn't, you saw that another unit came by the low ground towards Delta 3, took down my UAV, and I wasn't really paying attention to him at the time. I do notice it now, and I'm moving to try to get eyes on whoever that was. I'm not sure. I see another mech below who's moved off to the right-hand side. I'm not sure if this little flea was the one or if some of his teammates took down my UAV. But I'm going to push in and find myself in a very target-rich environment, including this Timberwolf, and he needs to go as soon as possible. His left torso is weak. Again, he's not focusing me. He's actually focusing a teammate, allowing me to open up his left torso. Hopefully my teammates can capitalize on that, and I'll also get some shots on that urban mech to add additional chip damage to him as well. And swinging around the right-hand side, we find our Timberwolf again, finish off the torso, and I see a couple other lighter units that the enemy has here as well. Again, I am not taking any return fire because they are not focusing me at all, and this allows me to take my time and choose my targets like the enemy flea. We take him off the board, and now we are in position to finish off the enemy Timberwolf from earlier. I also noticed there's another enemy unit, Kilo, urban mech, who is pushing my teammate on this left-hand side. So I'm going to move over to add fire support to this battle as well. I've just got to be careful that I'm landing shots on the urban mech. I'm trying to avoid doing team damage. If he stays focused on my teammate giving me that back, we should be able to take his mech out. And there is the kill shot on that rear CT. And while this was going on, one of our teammates scored a kill on the other side of the board, which means there is only one enemy left. So now the hunt begins. We know he's somewhere in the high ground. We're leaning towards Echo 4, Fox 4 area. And here's where I make a grave piloting mistake. Instead of my mech being able to push up that little clump of dirt, it doesn't, and as I turn around, the enemy is waiting to take out my rear CT. So down I go. But in doing so, he has fully given away his position, and now my teammates are going to move in for the kill. And once again, to underscore the importance and power of ECM, you notice that enemy unit is running ECM as well. It looks to be an ECM Timberwolf. So that means my teammates have to get visual confirmation on him or get close enough to try and lock him up for him to show up on anyone's mini-maps. And he's probably been left alone the majority of the game because he's been under the cover of ECM as well. Now, my teammates have spread out and they're slowly closing the noose around the Timberwolf. But you can see just how difficult this is, even with multiple mechs hunting him. Until he fires and gives away his position, they've been looking around for him in various places. And even our Thanatos was looking towards the right when the enemy fire came from the left-hand side. Now, the more he fires, the easier it's going to be for my teammates to triangulate his exact position. But you can see how long this enemy mech is able to draw this battle out using the power of his ECM to remain undetected. And looking at the damage on his mech, he's heavily damaged as well. He is open left torso and looked like his CT might be open as well, but he has still been putting up one heck of a fight in this match. And now he comes around the corner face to face with our Marauder, and the Marauder shocks up the kill shot. So switching over to our end screen, we finish this match with 4 kills, 682 damage done, 9 components destroyed, and a shout out to the Timberwolf pilot. I tell you his name, but it's unpronounceable. And he had 5 kills, 951 damage done. It's the power of ECM.